What's good, y'all? It's your boy King Cal 516 live in the mix. This is the Swiss Flame Podcast. So you can't make this stuff up. So apparently, the Sixers players were trying to get on a jet to go out to California to go see Ben Simmons, to have a meeting with him, to sit down and talk to him. You can't make this stuff up. We're going to dive into that. But before we do, please check out the website, www.swissflames.com. Hit us up on Twitter at SwissFlames. Definitely check out the Facebook and YouTube page at Swiss Flames Podcast. You cannot make this stuff up. This Ben Simmons thing is drama, and it is continuously going on. Now, let me break this down real quick. Ben Simmons is done with the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, how long will it take the Sixers to trade him? I don't know. Will they play a game of chicken? It looks like it will go to that, where the Sixers may hold on a little bit and see how long Ben Simmons is willing to hold out. Here's what's going on, and this is my opinion. If the Sixers got the deal they wanted, Ben Simmons would have been gone. So the Sixers haven't got the deal they wanted. They misplayed this whole thing. Part of that is it's not really management fully's fault. They have some fault to do with this. Let's take this back a little bit. Remember with the whole James Harden. Ben Simmons' name came up in trade rumors for James Harden. People forget about that. So you don't think that Ben Simmons heard that, right? Then what happens at the end of the season? Yes, Ben Simmons did fall short in the playoffs. He wasn't the only one. Ben Simmons is not the only reason why the Philadelphia 76ers lost. And that's the problem. Everybody's blaming Ben Simmons like he's the only person. Now, he did play a part, and he does have to play better. He has to get his free throw game up to par. He has to get the mind up to par. Because a lot of Ben Simmons' issues is the mental, right? That's fixable, though. As far as the talent, he's a world great talent. And right now, Ben Simmons does have to look in the mirror and sit there and say, hey, have I really gotten better all around in my game? Because if you look at his stats are still around the same as his rookie season. So that is a problem. As great of a player as he is, he needs to progress a little bit further. Now, my whole thing with the Sixers has always been Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid don't mix really well together. If you give Ben Simmons a team where you can load up shooters around him and he can play in those spots where Joel Embiid plays right now, Ben Simmons will have a lot of success and he'll play a lot better, being a focal point, similar to how the Bucks build around Giannis. Now, that's just my opinion. Sixers played this wrong. Once you put Ben Simmons those trade rumors early on for James Harden, that deal didn't go through because that was the best deal. Now, because you didn't get James Harden, you're dealing with all this trouble with Ben Simmons. So now here comes the end of the Philadelphia 76ers season. Doc Rivers gets asked the question, do you think Ben is a championship point guard, basically? I'm just paraphrasing. Doc says, I'm not sure, right? Joel Embiid puts Ben under the bus about, not going for that dunk, which he was absolutely right. Listen, accountability is everything, right? But here's my belief, though. I'm not against accountability because every player needs accountability, and if we're going to get the best out of each other, you got to hold each other accountable. That's championship quality teams. So Ben Simmons has to own that accountability and say, I got to play better. That's first and foremost. But I understand that Ben Simmons is upset, you know what I mean? Because that stuff got aired out to the media. That stuff is what you do privately. You know what I'm saying? Joel Embiid, you don't put Ben Simmons under the bus like that publicly. You go privately and say, Ben, you should have took that. You talk to him directly privately. You don't air it out in the media. You know what I'm saying? And I understand the frustrations of losing. I understand you're in the moment. But that's not how you handle those things. You know what I mean? You should have bit your tongue then. And then privately, you could have took it to Ben. Because let me tell you something. If the Sixers handled the media aspect of this a lot better, this thing would have been more patchable. Maybe they could have worked it out. Or Ben would have been a little more amicable in how he's acting. Now, he is acting a little mature. I do think he should be a professional, show up. But he's made this decision, and I understand why he's made the decision. I'm not counting a man's pockets. If he's willing to risk losing the amount of money he might end up risk losing, that's on him to do. I can't choose the path he takes in that regards. You know what I mean? But this is something else. The fact that Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, just a couple of those players that were announced that wanted to attend and go on this jet to see Ben Simmons. And Ben Simmons said, nah, you're wasting your time, basically. So this is interesting. Philadelphia needs to get off Ben Simmons. But this thing is going to play out, I think, into the season just for a little bit. And it's going to get nasty. And what's going to happen is, for Philly, you're going to hope that a team starts doing really bad who thought they were going to be really good and be willing to give you more pieces. But, Philly, the worst part about this, Philly, you really don't want this lingering into the season too much when you have championship aspirations. You don't want to really waste Joel Embiid's prime, and you don't really want this distraction for most of the season because you're trying to win a championship. So you have to make a decision about this sooner than later. But we'll see how it all unfolds. Let me know what you think about this situation with Ben Simmons, rejecting this jet trip by the Sixers players. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you think. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, y'all. So appreciate the support. Continue supporting. Peace.